Hello, strangers. Welcome to Albert Reads the Hits. I am Albert Strange, and we're doing something new in this video series that I'm putting together. Taking a break from the secrets behind the number ones, and we're going to be looking at one of the best shows on TV right now, Cobra Kai. Season 3 premieres in a few weeks, early next year, and I felt this was a very good opportunity to discuss some of the music that they used in the first two seasons, and of course we'll get into the third season once that does premiere as well. Spoilers ahead. Just to let you know, if you haven't watched the show, I recommend watching it before watching my videos, because I'm going to be talking about everything that happens, and through the lens of the hit music, hit songs that are used in the soundtrack. Not so much the original soundtrack, but the hit songs that they've written into the story. So let's go ahead and get into it. This episode is going to look at episodes 1 and 2 of season 1, and the first song that we hear is a song called Degenerate. So the series starts back in 1984 at the All Valley Tournament, the end of Karate Kid Part 1, and of course Daniel beats Johnny, and then the new story begins with Johnny waking up, and it's 2017, 2018. I don't remember when the show started. And the song that's playing is part of the original soundtrack. It's not even I just said I'm not going to be looking at that. This song is the exception, because this first song, no lyrics, or nothing to really analyze from it, but just the name of the song is also the name of the title rather of the first episode, which is called Ace Degenerate. And it's Johnny's theme. It's just this is what has happened to his life. He's just, I don't like to think of it as him being a degenerate in the fact of like an immoral or criminal person like that. I like to think of it more just like his life has degenerated. He's wasted his life. There's really nothing to show that he's doing anything like morally or criminally wrong, but he's just kind of wasting his life. It's 30 years on from the end of the first movie. He's just living in a one-bedroom apartment, cooking himself bologna for breakfast, working odd jobs, not really doing much with his life. And so the title of the song is very fitting for what Johnny has become. Now, as that first scene passes and we go on, the first hit song that we hear is a song that I'm sure everybody recognizes. It's Poison's Nothing But a Good Time. Now, this song was a top 10 song in 1988, so this is really a song. This is Johnny's like prime years. If he was 17 in 1984, he would have been 21, 22 in 1988. So he would have, if he went to college, I don't recall them saying if he did or not, but he would have been in his early 20s. So this would have been a song, a song in the prime of his life that I'm sure he would have been very familiar with. We see him driving his Firebird. It's actually it's not an 80s car. I originally thought that it was a car from the 80s, but I looked it up and it's a 1991 Firebird that he's driving. And the song itself is I know the song. I'm not a big fan of Poison. I know this song though. I never really kind of dug into it before. I never examined the lyrics or what the meaning behind it was. So I have the lyrics here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's a couple verses that I do want to get into. So the song goes: "Not a dime, I can't pay my rent. I can barely make it through the week. Saturday night, want to meet my girl. Right now, I couldn't make ends meet. I'm always working, slaving every day. Got to get a break from that same old. I need a chance just to get away. If you could hear me think, this is what I'd say. Don't need nothing but a good time. How can I resist? Ain't looking for nothing but a good time, and it don't get better than this." So just from like the chorus and the hook, nothing but a good time, don't need nothing but a good time, this song is actually about like this guy is just working himself to, he's working and working. He doesn't have any money. He's working himself to death, but what he really needs is a good time. And that's fitting for what Johnny is. Like we hear the song, he's driving through LA to get to work. He stops and he sees a good-looking girl working out. He tries to spit some game at her. She wants nothing to do with him. That's the good time that he wants. When in fact, we see him at work in the next scene, and he's cleaning dead rats out of gutters. You know, that's the what is it? Always working, slaving every day, and not a dime can't pay him rent. We know we learn he has money problems, you know, because his stepfather's been supporting him. Um, so that this song is really very fitting. I feel like it helps with establish the character. If you go a little bit deeper than just the chorus, just the hook, you know, nothing but a good time. Um, Honestly, I didn't know much more of the song other than that. So reading into it and watching and just kind of seeing where it fit into the episode, it's very good song choice. Very good song choice by the producers there. The next um, popular song is actually a song from the 70s, from 1979. I thought it was an 80s song, but it is technically a 70s song. Um, this is later on in the episode we hear Head Games by Foreigner. Also another song that I knew, not one that I'm super familiar with. I know Foreigner, but not really one of my favorite bands. Um, this song, Head Games, was a top 20 song in 1979. So you know, again, this is in Johnny's alley. 1979, he would have been 12, 13 years old, been an early teenager, and in this scene, this is actually this is a very important scene to. It really shows you kind of why he's acting the way that he's acting, why he's living like he's driving through L.A., drinking while he's driving. You know, the brown bag in it, and and he's having all these thoughts of when he was younger. We see Allie, or Elizabeth Shue. Oddly enough, they use a clip from when she was on a date with Daniel, but whatever. And he goes to the All Valley Sports Arena, which is where he lost the championship in 1984 to Daniel, the All Valley Under 18 Karate Championship, or whatever the exact name of it was. So he's there, and he has a flashback, like whereas he was just kind of remembering things before he got there, remembering Allie and other things from really from the Karate Kid Part 1. He has a pretty intense flashback to what happened after the All Valley tournament, and the song itself. So the way they're using it in the show is just it's about what's going on inside of it. So the song itself is more so about it's a couple. It's a man and a woman who are. Let me read a little bit of it. Daylight, all right. I don't know if it's real. Been a long night and something ain't right. You won't show how you feel. No time ever seems right to talk about the reason why you and I fight. It's high time to draw the line, put an end to this game before it's too late. Head games, it's you and me, baby. Head games, I can't take it anymore. Head games, I don't want to play the head games. So it's obviously a man and a woman in a relationship, and they're not communicating properly. It sounds like they're not talking at all. But the way they use it in the show, it's more about just what's going on inside his head, his personal head games, and this is very important. I feel like this is really kind of where his ace degenerate persona is coming from. You know, he's thinking about his girl Allie. He's thinking about, you know, how he lost the championship fight, and he's thinking about what happened afterwards with Sensei Kreese. And you know, it's in real life and in TV shows, whatever, you're gonna have relationship problems. You're gonna break up with the girls, you know, or vice versa. You're gonna break up with someone who you care about, or you're gonna get dumped, I should say. That's going to happen. And on to the next one, where he lost the big fight, lost the championship. You know, when you do compete, you're not always going to win. It sucks, but you know, losing is something that's part of life. It happens. sucks. You know, we talk about all these great athletes and like think like Michael Jordan who won 6 championships. Well, he played like 15 seasons. So yes, he won every championship that he made it to, but he didn't make it every year. Like Joe Montana, he won 4 Super Bowls, but he played for 15 years. Or even like LeBron James now, you know, as of 2020, how many has he won now? What's he won? 4 championships, and he's lost 6. And again, he's been playing 15 seasons, 16 seasons. Um, you're not always going to win. It sucks, but it's life. However, while you can expect to have relationship problems, you can expect to lose every now and then. You really shouldn't expect to be assaulted by a teacher or a coach because you lose. That's where the real power in this scene is, because it actually has him like it has that scene like in front of him. He's not thinking about it. He's actually seeing it. It's almost like it's like a PTSD for him. Like he's this assault that happened to him, which I mean was criminal. I don't know, you know, he was a minor at the time for starters, and Sensei Kreese, you know, he had him in a headlock and he was choking him out. And he also backhanded Bobby, if I remember correctly. And this was if you've never seen Karate Kid Part 2, just watch the first 5 minutes and you'll just be like, is this man insane? Like, what is going on? And I mean, that's the kind of thing that would stick with you. And I mean, I've never experienced anything like that, but you know, that is traumatic in my opinion. That is something that could really screw somebody up. And so it seems like Johnny needs to see a psychiatrist. I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but it sounds like he just needs to talk to somebody about this, work through this, because I mean that's not something that's supposed to happen. This is what's causing the issues in his head. You know, maybe that's why he's drinking. Maybe that's why he's kind of directionless, rudderless, just kind of going from job to job, doing what he can to just survive. So that's my 2-cent diagnosis right there. Yeah, that's the last like hit song. There's one last song in it. I don't know that it was ever really a hit song, but it's a famous song. It's the Alan Parsons project. It's called Sirius. Sirius like the star, Sirius, not serious like this is serious. There's no lyrics in this song, but this song plays at the end of the episode when he decides to reopen the dojo. This song I know from the late 90s. It's from like the early 80s. But this song I know from the 90s because this was the Chicago Bulls introduction song. This was when Michael Jordan was playing. This was Michael Jordan's song. This like when he would come out onto the court, you know, the lights are all flashing, everybody's cheering. This is the song that was playing. And this was a conscious decision in my opinion, of the producers to use this song because of that. I think it's in The Last Dance also. If you've watched that, I definitely recommend watching that about the Bulls last season. I should say the Michael Jordan Bulls last season. This is the song of the champion. This is the introduction. We're being reintroduced to a champion. You know, he's coming back into the fight, back into the game, and this song is the song that they chose to play. And I think that was a brilliant choice because immediately when I heard the song, when I hear the song, I think Michael Jordan, and he's the champion. You know, anybody my age, you ask them who the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Doesn't matter, and you know, end of conversation. So I think that was a very good choice on their part, and I think that helps to reestablish Johnny. He's kind of getting his, like Austin Powers, getting his mojo back. So that was the end of episode 1. There's only one song of note in episode 2, and it's at the very beginning. It's Ain't That a Kick in the Head. It's a Dean Martin song. Dean Martin's part of the Rat Pack with Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop. Those are the 5 members of the Rat Pack. But Ain't That a Kick in the Head, very famous song. If you don't know this song, You know it. Believe me, it's been in lots of movies. It's a big hit. It's always gonna be around forever. This is a song that will be listened to as long as English is a spoken language. People will listen to this song. But this song, whereas the first episode opens with Johnny, the second episode opens with Daniel. And his life has gone a very different direction. Now, we do see him in episode 1. In fact, it's worth noting that we see his daughter before we ever see him in person. We do see a picture of him on the billboard before that, and in the flashback. But I do believe we see his daughter first before we ever see Daniel. We don't know she's his daughter yet. We don't learn that until a little bit later, when she and her friends crash into Johnny's 91 Firebird, like I mentioned. But we don't meet Daniel until really near the end of the first episode. I think it's in like the last 10 minutes where we meet Daniel when Johnny goes in there to get his car following the accident. But in episode 2, it opens with Daniel, and it's playing this song, Ain't That a Kick in the Head? And it couldn't be further from Johnny's life. He is in a nice house, nice clothes, beautiful wife, great kids. He's cooking them breakfast. There was the croissants and other, I think it was eggs. I don't remember. I should have written down what he had, but it was a very nice looking breakfast. And compare that to Johnny cooking bologna on a pan with beer cans all over himself. And then he and his wife, Daniel and his wife, rather, are drinking, fresh brewed coffee. It might have been cappuccino or espresso. I don't really know. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know particularly. But they had a very nice coffee maker there. He goes to work. He owns his own car dealership. It's like Audis and other luxury cars. He's great friends with his staff. He's just going there having a great time. He has a great life. And something worth, I'll read a bit of the lyrics. Where is it? How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. He's got a good life. He's got a very good life. He's very successful. Owns his own business. He's doing very well. He's got a great house. His house is really nice. It's very nice. They got a pool in the back. It's in Encino, if you remember Encino Man. Encino, in fact, to keep in theme with the movies, Encino is where Allie lived. I don't know that, and Johnny probably lived there also. I don't know that was ever said that he lived in Encino, but Allie definitely lived in Encino. And it seems like Johnny is now living in Reseda, which is where Daniel lived in Karate Kid Part 1. So it's a nice reversal there. But the Ain't That a Kick in the Head, that it's it definitely has a double meaning, because he's doing all these great things. He's, like I said, he has a great family, beautiful house, great job, has lots of friends. He's just, you would see him and you say, that is a successful man right there. That is a happy man. And he's just driving along. He looks to his left, record scratch, stops immediately. Cobra Kai dojo right there. That's a kick in the head right there. What's going on? So I thought that was a very, 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 very good juxtaposition of Ain't That a Kick in the Head if my life is so great versus Ain't That a Kick in the Head, oh my God, what did I just see? This can't be happening. So again, my compliments to the producers and to the writers, directors, all the people involved in this show. I think they've done a great job. Looking forward to making the next episode. I don't really have much more to say about episodes 1 and 2. Episode 2 didn't have any other really like big songs. There were other songs, but no other like big hits that really jumped out at me. So I stuck with Ain't That a Kick in the Head, the Dean Martin song. So listen to the songs, rewatch it. I recommend rewatching every show anyways before the new season comes on, just to refresh yourself. But really pay attention to the music, because the music helps tell the story also, and I think it's very important. And sometimes it helps more so than we're actually seeing on the screen. Um, so give it a rewatch. Think about the music, and really listen to the music and see what's going on, and say, you know what, what's going on with the song is that's the show right there. So I do appreciate your time tonight, strangers. Do make sure to like, share, subscribe, all those things I'm always saying. Tip your servers, your bartenders, your rideshare drivers, and delivery drivers. They appreciate it. I appreciate it on their behalf. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. I think I'll be able to get episodes 3, 4, and 5 in the next video. So we're gonna try to get through season 1, and get on to season 2 and be ready for season 3 when it premieres. But thank you again for giving me the time, strangers. I will see you. I will see you in the next one. And thanks again.